So this is my second tutorial video on compound interest. It is something that's covered at GCSE Maths, and it also has some useful everyday applications, which I hope become a little bit more obvious by the end of the video. So there are two ways of calculating compound interest. I'm going to go through both of them. The first way, method one, this is it's the long-winded method, but I think it's the easiest to follow. The second method, I'm going to introduce the compound interest formula, and it's a much faster way of calculating compound interest. Okay, so an example of a question that you may be given is you start off with £500, say, you're going to put it into a savings account with a nice generous 2% interest rate every year, and you leave it in there for 3 years. And you're going to be asked, what is your final amount after those 3 years? So year one, we're obviously starting off with £500. We want to calculate our 2% on £500. Well, 1% is going to be £5. So 2% is going to be £10. And by the end of that first year, we have £510. Hopefully that's quite obvious. What I don't want you to do is to think, right, well, 2% is £10. I'm leaving it in there for 3 years. So our total amount is going to be £530. Just timesing that by 3. That is not compound interest. I really want to stress that. Because our amount at the end of each year is going to change, which means our 2% on that amount is also going to change. So I'll show you what I mean. So year two, we're not starting off with £500. We're actually starting off with £510. So now we need to figure out 2% of this. And 2% of this is going to give us £10.20. Quick maths. So our total by the end of year two is going to be £520.20. And likewise, year three, we now start off with this amount. We're figuring out 2% of this, and we actually end up with £530.60. That's rounded to the nearest penny, by the way, because our 2% of this is going to give us, our 1% will give us 5.2020. 2% is going to be double that. So I've just added that on and then rounded it to the nearest penny. So that's the answer. That would be our final amount after our 3 years. However, like I said, that's quite a long-winded way of doing it.